Hello, this is Yogesha 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on stories from the Puranas. And today we'll be talking about a very interesting story from the Puranas, which gives us a reasoning as to why Lord Vishnu incarnates on this earth so many times. As we know that Lord Vishnu has had 9 incarnations so far, and the 10th is yet to come in Kali Yuga, which will be marking the end of the universe. There will be a universal dissolution. But the stories from the Puranas explains us as to why Vishnu was incarnated, and this is how the story goes. When the great goddess, or Durga, or Chandi, or Mahamaya, whatever you may like to describe her, the great supreme goddess, gave 3 powers to Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And the goddesses, or these Shaktis, or these powers, were in form of goddesses. Brahma got Saraswati, Shiva got Kali, and Vishnu got Lakshmi. So you may call them Mahasaraswati, Mahakali, and Mahalakshmi as well. Maha means great. So when, after meeting with the goddess, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva were coming back, they saw the great ocean before them. And of course, as you would refer to my earlier video, how this earth was created. This earth was called Medini because it was formed out of the marrow of the 2 demons, Madhu and Ketaba. Please refer to my earlier video. And because of the marrow, this earth was created out of the ocean. And this ocean was very great, and this marrow was strong as well. However, to make it even more powerful, or to make it stable, the 1,000-head serpent held the earth on its head. So mythology, and of course it's not mythology, it's coming directly from the Puranas, so it's not a myth, it's a fact. So the great serpent Ananta, which is 1,000 hoods, a serpent with 1,000 hoods, is holding the earth on its head, because Medini, which is the marrow of the 2 asuras or demons, Madhu and Ketaba, was a little fluid, so to make it strong enough to make earths a little stable. And of course, with the oceans, the great serpent Ananta with 1,000 hoods held it on its head to make the earth solid. And also, Brahma built mountains at different places. That's what the Puranas say. Just like an iron nails in a log of wood to make it strong, these hills and mountains on the earth made it fixed. So this is how the Puranas say the earth was created. And of course, the great mountain Meru, which in the Puranas has been mentioned as a golden mountain, was created once again by Lord Brahma as well. And then through the power of the mind of Brahma, Marichi, Narada, Atri, and these are all great sages. Marichi, Narada, Atri, Pulatsya, Pulaha, Kratu, Daksha, and Vashishta were created. So these are Brahma's mental sons. These were sons of Brahma, which was created out of his mind, the power of his mind. And Marichi, who was Brahma's mental son, one of Brahma's mental son, his son Kashyapa was born. And then through Kashyapa, the human beings, the animals, the serpents, and other classes were created. That is the reason why sage Kashyapa is considered to be the father of all humankind. And the Gotra, the other Gotras, or the families, emerged from sage Kashyapa itself. So the basic Gotra or family is Kashyapa, and then the other Gotras or families were created. So that's the story behind the creation of earth. After the great goddess, the supreme goddess, gave Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva their respective powers in the form of goddesses: Kali, Saraswati, and Lakshmi. Kali was given to Shiva, Saraswati was given to Brahma, and Lakshmi was given to Vishnu. And then this is how Brahma created first sons from the mind, and then through these sons, the first son, Marichi, had a son called Kashyapa, who created the entire human beings, animals, serpents, and all the other classes. And then Brahma created mountains, and on top of the Meru mountain, which we just discussed, Brahma built a beautiful Brahma Loka, or his own world, which was called the world of Brahma, or Brahma Loka. So similarly, there were 7 lokas which were created, and Brahma Loka is one of the 7 lokas. Then Lord Vishnu built his city, Vaikuntha, that's also one of the lokas, or the world, to stay there with his consort Lakshmi, or Mahalakshmi. And Shiva also created the beautiful Kailasha and stayed there with his bhutas, as it's called, or his ganas, as it is called, his followers, his devotees, his followers. That's where he lived with, on Mount Kailasha. And then there was another loka which was created, which was decorated with various gems and jewels and stones, and that was called the Swarga Loka, or the heaven, and that was the abode of Lord Indra. So this is how the 7 lokas were created. So we went, just to give you a quick recap, the great goddess, or the supreme goddess, gave the powers to Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Brahma created his mental sons, or he created sons out of the power of his mind. And then one of the sons, Marichi, had another son whose name was Kashyapa, and he created mankind. And then in the meanwhile, the mountains were created, the Mount Meru was created, and then the several lokas, the 7 lokas were created as well. Out of these lokas, or the worlds, Brahma Loka we just discussed. We discussed Vaikuntha, which was the loka of Lord Vishnu, and Kailasha, and also the Swarga Loka, which is the abode of Lord Indra, who's the king of the other gods. And then the story goes that once Lord Vishnu was sitting in his loka, Vishnu Loka, or Vaikuntha, and he thought of celebrating a yajna, or a fire ritual, in honor of the supreme goddess. And then he went to the abode of the various other gods to invite them for the great fire ritual, or the fire sacrifice. So he went to Brahma, he went to Shiva, he went to Kubera, he's the lord of the wealth, he went to Lord Indra, he went to Lord Varuna, he went to Lord Agni, which is the lord of fire, he went to Yama, which is the lord of death, he went to Vashishtha, that's the Maharishi, the great sage, he went to Kashyapa, the great sage again, he went to Daksha, one of the mental sons of Brahma, he went to Vamadeva, he went to Brahaspati, which is Guru or Jupiter, and several others, and invited them. And he collected a lot of materials necessary for the Devi, or the supreme goddess's fire ritual. And then he selected a nice sattvic site, a pure site, which he could feel had great spiritual powers, and he erected, with the help of several artisans and architects, a sacrificial hall, so that he could perform the great fire ritual in honor of the goddess. He appointed 27 priests who were supposed to complete the ritual in the proper manners prescribed as per the Vedas for the rituals. And then there was a big pile of wood, and then the Brahmanas recited the mantras, and especially the Devi mantras, or the mantras in honor of the great supreme goddess. And then lots of materials were offered, like ghee and other items which are necessary to perform the rituals in the prescribed manner. And once this ceremony was completed, the fire ritual in honor of the great supreme goddess was completed, there was a heavenly voice which was heard in the air, and it was addressing Lord Vishnu. And the voice said that, Vishnu, I'm pleased with the fire ceremony you performed in my honor, and for that you would be the most powerful of all the gods, the most powerful of all the devas, which includes Indra and Brahma, and all the other devas will worship you. So here the name of Shiva is not mentioned, but it's mentioned in the Puranas that the voice, the heavenly voice, said that all the devas, including Indra and Brahma, are going to worship Lord Vishnu. So these are little pieces of information we get from the Puranas, which are extremely important as to what's the importance of gods like Vishnu and how they assume this powerful form. How did they acquire these powers, and where is the power coming from? What is the source of the power? And the voice kept on saying that the men on the earth will be devoted to you, Vishnu, and you will be endowed with power, and you will also be the bestower of boons and desires. So the heavenly voice said that Vishnu will have the power to give boons to others. You will be the supreme of the devas, and you will be the god of the gods. And whenever there's a sacrifice, you will be given the first preference and worshipped by the sacrificers, or people who do rituals. People are going to worship you, Vishnu. This voice, the heavenly voice, continued on to say. And Vishnu, once they worship you, you will favor them with boons. And the most important thing here is, and this is the reason why we made this video, is this heavenly voice said that whenever the devas or the gods will be troubled by the demons, they will come and take refuge in you, and you are going to help them. Also, very important, that voice continued, the heavenly voice continued, which was the Devi's voice, the supreme goddess's voice, said that whenever there is a decay and decline in religion, whenever dharma is in trouble, you will incarnate and preserve the religion. So that's the logic, that's the reason why Vishnu kept incarnating himself. Various forms. Matsya form was the first form where the Vedas were in trouble. Then there were other forms, like he incarnated as Rama. He incarnated as Rama to destroy the evil demon Ravana. He incarnated as Krishna to destroy the evil demon Kansa. He came in various other forms, like he came in, for example, as Bali. I'm sorry, not Bali. He came in as Vamana, as a Brahmin, to destroy the demon king Bali. So these were the various avatars, 9 so far, and then we're waiting for the last avatar. So this voice continued to say that in all your avatars, or all your incarnations — avatar is an incarnation, or Sanskrit word for incarnation — you will get your shaktis, or your powers, your females, drawing energies from my part. So this is what the goddess said, that it'll be my energy which will manifest through your shaktis, or your powers, in their female forms, through which you will draw your energy and power to destroy evil. But the origination of that energy and that power will be from me. It's like, for example, for Varaha Avatara of Vishnu, he had Varahi, the female consort of Varaha was Varahi. When Vishnu incarnated as Ram, it was Sita. So these were all female consorts, but they were drawing their power from the great supreme goddess, as it was mentioned by that heavenly voice of the Supreme Goddess after Vishnu completed this sacrifice. So this was prophesied by that heavenly voice of the goddess after Vishnu completed that sacrifice or that fire ritual in honor of the goddess. Like when Vishnu incarnated as Narasimha, his consort was Narasimhi, which was, of course, the origination of the power was from the Supreme Goddess, and Narasimhi helped as a Shakti, as a power to Lord Vishnu to perform his duty in destroying evil. And what did Narasimha do? As we know, that Narasimha destroyed the powerful demon Hiranyakashipu. So every incarnation of Vishnu had a purpose, and this was prophesied by that heavenly voice as per the Puranas that this is going to happen. And the heavenly voice of the Supreme Goddess kept on continuing that these powers, these Shaktis like Varahi, Narasimhi, Sita, and other powers or other female consorts of these incarnations will also be worshipped throughout the whole of India. And the fame of all these female powers will also spread in the 7 worlds, 7 lokas, and in the whole universe, just like yours will, as Lord Vishnu and also as the incarnations of Lord Vishnu. And the humans on this earth will constantly worship these powers and you as well. So what the voice said was that these powers, these female powers, will be worshipped, and you as well, for getting their desires fulfilled. So human beings are going to worship you for their own, of course, selfish means to get desires. And the heavenly voice of the Supreme Goddess continued to prophesy that you will be the god of the immortals, and the worship offered by the human beings will be in this world. Also, the other gods will worship you in the heavens as well. So this was a little story which came from the Puranas as to what is the reason behind the 9 incarnations of Vishnu which have happened so far. How Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma got their respective powers, and they created this world. And after Lord Vishnu performed this fire ceremony in honor of the goddess, he got these boons, and of course for a purpose, to destroy evil on this planet. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. In the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel, check out my website, there is a link below, and I will see you with an interesting continuation of stories from the Puranas very soon. Goodbye.